In the headlines, police debunk rumor of fresh attack in Mangu villages in Plateau State as death toll rises to 85 amid protest calls for reinforcement. Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila adjourns plenary over impeachment threats. Trust TV wins Best Television Show at Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria Award. And on the international scene, 4 children reported found in Amazon 17 days after plane crash. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Hello and welcome once again. The Plateau State Police Command on Wednesday debunked rumors making the rounds that gunmen again attacked 2 villages in Mangu local government area on Wednesday morning. Trust TV's Ado Musa had on Tuesday reported how gunmen attacked 2 communities of the local government, leaving several persons, including women and children, dead, and forced the government to impose a curfew on the local government area. Take a look.
In the early hours of Wednesday, there were reports of fresh attacks, especially on social media, that there was another attack in some communities of the same Mangu local government area, where 12 people were killed on Wednesday. But reacting to the development, the spokesperson of the State Police Command, DSP Alabo Alfred, denied the report, saying no report of attack was received by the command.
As at this time, the command have not received any additional information that some communities were attacked. But I can tell you from my own standpoint, I received calls from different persons from the same Mangu local government who, due to what has happened within that particular area, are scared of possibly being attacked, of which I informed them that the Commissioner of Police, CP Bartholomew Oneka, PSC Daga, has done everything within his constitutional power to ensure that their area is safe and there should be no need for panic.
DSP Alfred further gives an update on the current situation in Mangu General area.
Of course, you know, when things like this happen, there is this fear that go around neighboring communities that we want to make it look like there is another attack. But so far, I didn't get that information. Instead, we got information of a recovery of an AK-47 rifle and arrest of 5 suspects who are presently in the custody of the STF in Jos. And we are all working together. All hands are on deck to ensure that there is no further breakdown of law and order. So we like to tell rumor mongers to please verify their information before they spread it and wait for us. We will give official statements as regards events.
Although the police is yet to give the casualty figure from the incident, the National President, Mogavul Development Association, Joseph Gwankat, while speaking to journalists, said the death toll from the Tuesday's attack has risen to 85 as search for missing persons continues in the affected communities. However, following the deployment of security personnel to the affected areas, heads of security agencies and Deputy Governor of the state, Sonny Theoden, had visited the affected communities to sympathize with the families of the victims. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The Federal Executive Council on Wednesday approved port development project worth $4.7 billion in Ondo, Lagos and Delta states. The Minister of State for Transportation, Ademola Adeguroye, disclosed this to State House reporters after the Federal Cabinet meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. He said the council approved the development of Ondo Multipurpose Port, Ilaje, Snake Island in Lagos and Burutu in Delta State. He said the projects would be executed through public-private partnership arrangement at no cost to the federal government. Adeguroye said the Ondo port would cost the private developers the sum of around $1 billion and would be concessioned for a period of 50 years, with the accruals to the concessionaire and the federal government expected to be 50 billion and 2.6 billion respectively. He said the Burutu port would cost around $1.2 billion, concession for 40 years, with the concessionaire and the federal government expected to reap $125 billion and $9 billion respectively. The minister added that the Snake Island port would go up around $974 million and concession for 45 years, with the concessionaire and the federal government receiving $18 billion and $5.2 billion respectively in accruals within the period. Also, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Wednesday adjourned plenary indefinitely over fear of an impeachment plot by some lawmakers. Gbajabiamila, who presided over plenary after weeks of recess, hurriedly called for adjournment over speculation of his impeachment. A report.
Earlier, a lawmaker from Ogun State, Isaka, had come under Order 6, 1 and 2 on a matter of privileges to move his motion. According to him, his point of order is that the induction program is ongoing at the ICC and he is privileged together with other members to be a part of Batch B. That, he said, is why he is coming under Order of Privileges, Order 6, 1, 2 and 3, praying that the House do adjourn to allow him participate in the program.
Induction is even beyond the privilege. It's a right, and when you've the Constitution abhors discrimination. If you've allowed for the first batch, you must allow for the second batch. However, we have a very short period of time left. I want to implore members that perhaps we are already here. Let's not adjourn abruptly.
Today, as we speak, induction program is ongoing at the ICC Center, which I'm privileged, together with other members, to be part of Batch B. The House do adjourn to allow us that are participating in this week's program to end the program while the House reconvenes after the program, Mr. Speaker.
The Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Wase, in a swift move, opposed Gbajabiamila, claiming that the adjournment was needless. Wase said the adjournment was not proper, adding that the induction could be going on simultaneously with plenary, just like it was done at the Senate.
I respect the view of my very distinguished colleague, Honorable Isiaka. I think there are many tribal issues in the country that we need to face and tackle. We are well enough. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues, we have just today, tomorrow for the week. We lost yesterday, and I want to beg that. I want to beg my brother to reconsider his own stand.
The doctored standing rules, referred to as the 10th edition, cited has a new provision for electing the Speaker and Deputy through an open ballot instead of the existing rule of secret ballot that has been in use since 1999.
And still in the National Assembly, the Senate has appealed to international airlines not to withdraw their services while efforts are ongoing to resolve the current issues of blocked funds in the country. The upper chamber also urged President Muhammadu Buhari to direct the Central Bank of Nigeria to pay up the affected airlines. These resolutions followed a motion on the current issues on airlines' blocked funds in Nigeria, sponsored by Senator Biodun Olujimi and presented on the floor by Senator Bala Ibn Nala on Wednesday in plenary. The report.
The lawmaker noted that for over a year, Nigeria has been the country with the highest amount of airline blocked funds in the world. As at March 2023, airlines blocked funds in Nigeria had increased to $717.5 million from $662 million in January 2023, as well as $549 million in December 2022. A review of airlines blocked funds in Nigeria in the last 6 months shows an average of month-on-month increase of $49.3 million.
Since January 2023, Nigeria has been the most challenging country to the world for the airlines to repatriate their funds to support their operations. Further notes that in February 2023, Nigeria alone amounted to 44% of total airline block funds in the whole world.
Worried by the threat, lawmakers expressed concern that the development may cause the country more damage.
I don't think any airline has funds trapped in Nigeria, so to speak. They have several classes of tickets, Mr. President, as I'm sure maybe the chief will know since he's in the business, various classes of tickets. And they make available only a select few classes for you to actually go and buy from the airlines.
Interest in this particular issue is simply to say whatever it is, whatever the truth and wherever the truth lies, the situation on ground is what is my major concern. And that situation on ground is such that Nigerians are suffering.
It is not how to do something. We have airlines that are here that the Nigerian government should encourage, and they will operate well, like the APs, like Acquire Air. These are reputable companies.
I don't believe this amount was inherited. The reason I would say so is that there was an intervention with the CBN on this issue in the past. And I remember we suggested to the CBN to dedicate the monies coming from diaspora remittances.
Anybody, any organization, any interest, any sentiment is free to come and lobby members of the National Assembly, whatever they have interest. It's for us to know the difference of what we are asked to do, whether these are good things for our country or not.
Since January 2021, Nigeria has been the most challenging country in the world for the airlines to repatriate their funds, a situation that has made them to consider withdrawing their services.
The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, on Wednesday said it has disowned Lamidi Apapa of the Labour Party. In a statement, the secretary of the NLC Political Commission, Chris Uyot, described Apapa as a meddlesome interloper. The statement said Lamidi Apapa is being used by reactionary forces to deny Nigerians the benefit of an alternative political thought and organization geared towards genuine national redemption and transformation. It said the shameful conduct of Apapa at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal has once again brought to the fore the desperation of certain elements in the political class to deploy all manner of subterfuge and criminality to divide and despoil the massive goodwill currently being enjoyed by the Labour Party all over Nigeria. The statement said it was unfortunate that Apapa has continued to act lawlessly as an impostor, ascribing to himself a vague status as the chairman of the Labour Party and claiming to represent the Nigeria Labour Congress. Also, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammadu Sa'ad Abubakar III, says nothing will stop the inauguration of the president-elect Bola Tinubu on May 29th. He is calling on all Nigerians to support the incoming government to succeed. Abubakar stated this while seeking prayers for the success of Tinubu's administration during a roundtable meeting with traditional and religious rulers. The meeting was organized by the World Bank on Wednesday in Abuja. He noted that with the new government coming in on May 29th, they must contribute their quota to ensure a stable government. He charged Nigerians to be united and work towards ensuring equity and justice. Still in politics, the Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressives Congress APC has set up an 11-man committee to investigate allegations of anti-party activities during the last 2023 general elections, among others. The 11-member committee is charged by the party's state publicity secretary, Yusuf Idris, while Ibrahim Ma'ajiz serves as secretary. The state chairman of the party, Tukur Danfulani, who inaugurated the committee on Wednesday at the APC State Secretariat in Gusau, charged them to thoroughly study all allegations leveled against anyone and recommend measures to be taken against them. The party chairman disclosed that already the state secretariat of the party has copies of petitions against some of the members. He urged the committee to handle its assignment without fear or favor, but in the interest of the party and by the provisions of the party's constitution. Danfulani assured that the party will reclaim the stolen mandate, which, according to him, was deliberately robbed the party by a cabal operating in the state. And Trust TV, the television arm of Media Trust Group, has won the Best Television Show English Language at the inaugural edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards, CNBA. Law and Order, a weekly program, edged out Channels Television's Politics Today and Arise TV's morning show to win the category at the event which held in Lagos on Wednesday. Broadcast professionals and platforms were shortlisted for 19 award categories across radio and television. Trust TV earned 3 nominations, with its reporters Zainab Bala and Ibrahim Yusuf nominated in the Newscaster of the Year television category. The station earned a nomination in the Best Television Production in Documentary Feature English Language for its documentary titled Kidnapped. Other nominees included Channels TV, Arise TV, NTA, Silverbird TV, Liberty TV, Galaxy TV, Cool FM and Raypower FM.
As we keep on improving our programming, we'll continue to train our staff, we'll continue to give them the best of equipment, but also we'll continue to invest in content, because content is king on TV, so that we continue to give the audiences what they want. We're not just doing the TV shows for ourselves, we're doing it for the audiences. So we'll continue to do better in that regard, to do better programming.
Also, Trust TV is available on Channel 164 on Star Times and also broadcast on 9Comsat, Arabsat, Badr 7, Lumex World TV, Free TV, Moreplex Channel 715, Avo TV, and streams live across all social media platforms. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Still to come. We take a look at challenges facing Benue fruit sellers. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Now a recap of our major stories. Police debunk rumor of fresh attack in Mangu villages in Plateau as death toll rises to 85 amid protest. Calls for reinforcement. Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila adjourns plenary over impeachment. Moving on to more stories. Concerned by the alleged failure of the federal government to meet its demands, the National Association of Resident Doctors has embarked on a 5-day warning strike starting from Wednesday, May 17th to Monday, May 22nd. The National Executive Council of the association, which gave the mandate for the association to proceed on a warning strike, had earlier issued a 2-week ultimatum on April 29, 2023 to the federal government to commence implementation of all pending agreements. As part of the agreements, the resident doctors want an immediate increment in the Consolidated Medical Salary Structure, CONMES, to the tune of 200% of the current gross salary of doctors, withdrawal of the 5-year compulsory service bill at the National Assembly to enable access to medical license, strengthened recruitment of health workers at health facilities across board, infrastructural development, as well as clearing of unpaid salaries at the state level, among other demands. The federal government, through the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, had described the 200% salary increment demand of the doctors as ridiculous and the 5-day warning strike as unnecessary.
And I want to say that if you recall, we've not gone on strike for close to 3 years now. And I think our members have exercised some patience. That's what they feel. They have been patient enough with this government, trying to see whether many of these challenges can be resolved without having to go on strike. And in fact, they are believing that maybe that was a mistake, because for these 3 years, these things have not been addressed. And that is what has brought us to this unfortunate end. And people have to know that the warning strike was a compromise decision. We had the option of going on indefinite strike, but we considered Nigerians who incidentally we feel this fight is for them, because they are the ones accessing this facility. They are seeing that it is becoming increasingly more difficult to access healthcare, to see your doctors, to see the nurses, because nobody, many people have left. You now have one doctor doing the work of many. In our accident and emergency department all over the country, where you need to have 10 doctors, you have 1. And of course, people are dying from this. So we want the government to address this challenge. They should improve on the condition of service so that our doctors will stay here. So this warning strike is for 5 days. And after the 5 days, our members have said that we have to come back and review. And if no progress has been made, nobody should blame NAD if we end up with an indefinite strike.
From that, Benue State, also known as the food basket of the nation, is reputed for cultivating fruits such as mangoes, oranges, pineapple, watermelon and pears, among others, on a large scale. Despite the abundance of fruits in the state, it has no fruit juice processing company, a situation that leaves most fruits that are not sold or consumed within a short period to get damaged. Jimmy Atzande was at the popular railway fruit market in Makurdi, from where he files in this report on the plight of some fruit sellers. Take a look.
Traders at this market feel the government is not doing enough to help ordinary people like fruit farmers in the state, as they are yet to feel the presence of any government in the market.
Mango, as you see, that is a very good business. Our challenge where we say we suffer for this place, that we never get person where we come help us. You see at this market, the market is small. And you see, we never get, if we can get government where we come help us. Like I say, we get company where will help us, they do like fruit juice. What will help us like this, how they do fruit juice back? See as our mango the rotiba, is it good? And we get our government, what will help us?
Some of the traders said with rising transportation costs, the fruit business has become quite challenging in recent times. They appeal for intervention from the authorities.
Stay along in this market the past 5 years, so that as we do this business before, the business is good like that. So as the transportation is too much now. Only things the people where they get this money inside this business is people where get motor, because the motor they take all the money. That is, and now like this, especially if you buy the watermelon, some spot is lost men from inside the business, and if you buy some not right. And sometimes if you buy and make people rush buy, so that is how the business. They no be every time they get. Sometimes you go do loss. Sometimes they do get that.
Many are of the opinion that if the government cannot provide storage facilities or establish a processing plant to cater for the large harvest from people in the fruit value chain, it can at least assist through policies and incentives for the traders.
If the government can improve and strategize on way of collecting tax, so that it will no longer be multiple taxation, it will also encourage the sector. And they need support to build their own factories, their processing units, their machines that can help them in processing and adding value to some of the things that they do.
The traders are unhappy that most of the fruits at the market are wasting due to lack of patronage and the absence of processing plants in Benue State. Although it is argued that government has no business in business, it can, through the right policies, support and encourage individuals to invest in that sector. This will go a long way in curtailing the volume of wastages incurred annually.
And on the foreign scene, 3 children and a baby were reported to have been found alive more than 2 weeks after a plane crashed with them on board in the Colombian Amazon jungle. Colombian authorities had deployed more than 100 soldiers with sniffer dogs to search for the children who were traveling in a plane that crashed in the Amazon 17 days ago, killing 3 adults. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro said in a tweet on Wednesday that the children were discovered after arduous search efforts by the military. He described it as a joy for the country. Earlier on Wednesday, the Colombian Armed Forces said search efforts intensified after rescuers came across a shelter built in an improvised way with sticks and branches, leading them to believe there were survivors. However, there were no reports from the Colombian military confirming the discovery of the children. And in sports, chieftains of the Nigeria Football Federation and Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps on Wednesday agreed to cooperate and collaborate more in the interest of safety and security at all football matches in the country. Speaking during a courtesy call on the Commandant General of the NSCDC, Ahmed Abubakar Audi, the NFF President Ibrahim Gusau praised NSCDC officials for providing safety and security at football grounds. The NFF President suggested to Audi about initializing state command football teams, as football is a veritable unifying factor between and among peoples and nations of the universe. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update at this hour. Do also follow us across all of our media platforms. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching.